Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Smita Sakote, your own consultant cosmetic dermatologist on a mission. That is Mission Beauty Sundarvi Honarats. In next 3 years, I would like to make 1 lakh women beautiful. So in this particular series, we have come up with wonderful interviews from various dermatologists across the country. And do you would like to know who is the best dermatologist who's going to join us today? Yes, here we have Dr. Roma Pandhi, who is joining us from Chandigarh. And let me introduce, she has completed her MD with wonderful flying colors in the year 1998. And then she worked as a senior resident for 2 years in PGI, one of the most reputed institute for dermatology for next 2 years. And later, she also worked in government hospital. And now, since last 17 years, she is working as a cosmetic dermatologist in Chandigarh, the royal planned city of India. So can you imagine, Dr. Roma Pandhi must have made lakhs of women beautiful till now. So let's know from her what she has to say about the adult acne. Not only that, she has presented various papers in national and international conference. So welcome Dr. Roma on this platform of Mission Beauty.
Hi, Dr. Smita. It's great connecting with you today on this platform. I've known you since so many years and you're still as beautiful as ever. And big hello to the lovely people out there. And today I'm here with you to connect on acne. And I hope that I'm able to pass on a message of contentment among the young ladies and the middle-aged ladies out there who are so troubled by their acne. I am basically a practicing consultant dermatologist at Pandhi Hospital, Chandigarh. It's basically in the northern region of India, if you've heard about the city, a beautiful place to be. And I guess let's roll on with the session today.
Yes, beautiful. Roma has been always the most beautiful looking dermatologist among the crowd. So here we are going to listen to a lady who's beauty with brains. And definitely she's going to solve all your queries about pimples, acne, murum, whatever you name it as. And it is really a great cause of concern for the most of the ladies. Dr. Roma, my first question to you is, why do middle-aged women get acne? See, they are not teenage. They keep complaining, doctor, we have crossed our teenage and now we're getting acne. What is the problem? So can you highlight on this, Dr. Roma?
Yes, so that's when we talk about acne or when we say pimples, we assume it to be something that is associated with our growing years, with our teenage years, our formative years. But acne is not necessarily just restricted to that particular age group or the pubertal age group or the teenage age group, as we call it. In those days, we very conveniently related to hormonal changes in our body, and the skin changes our body goes through because of the hormones. But actually, middle-age acne or the acne which we see beyond the age of 25 to up to 40 years and sometimes even up to 50, 55 years is also a very common problem. And it is also acne. It's not only pimples, acne, they're all basically the same things. And middle-age acne is also because of hormonal issues. There are other issues related to which the reason why we get primary factor. We have multiple other factors of being stress related acne, it relating to our diet, it relating to our skincare products and our skincare regime, and also the makeup products that we are using. So there are multiple factors related. Weather, of course, plays a big role too. So there are multiple factors related to middle-age acne in addition to hormones, which are usually the prime role in the teenage groups.
That was a wonderful
yes.
Dr. Roma, because it is not only hormone, it is the diet, it is the cosmetics which you use. Some comedogenic cosmetics also can aggravate acne. And not to forget, women are often stressed out and that itself could be a cause. So if you women have acne, please say goodbye to stress and stay young and beautiful. My next question to you, Dr. Roma, is women often put on weight. There are reasons for it. One is post childbirth, they put on weight. Next is probably they're not really very much concerned about their looks, once they are so much worked up with the families and so many things. So, does overweight cause acne, Dr. Roma?
So, directly, I guess overweight at times is related to acne, and we have indirect relations of overweight and acne too. So, in the teenage age group, being overweight is directly related to acne because it leads to a lot of insulin resistance and other hormonal issues connected. But in the middle age acne, I will not say that being overweight is completely related to acne. But yes, it does lead to a decreased BMR. There are sometimes other issues associated, other hormonal issues associated, like the thyroid problems, which also seem to emerge around the middle age in young ladies, especially around pregnancy and post-pregnancy. So that in turn also leads to acne issues and hormonal imbalance issues. And yes, overweight is definitely not helping the acne, but it's not the direct reason why a female would get acne in her middle age groups.
Yes. Is there any difference between a teenage acne and an adult acne, Dr. Roma?
Yes, definitely a big difference in terms of our clinical presentation. So when a teenage child comes to our clinic, a boy or girl comes to our clinic or hospital with presentation, their acne is very typical in terms of having in our T-zone area, which we call as the forehead area, the nose, the inner cheeks, and the chin area, the most common areas of presentation where would get the different lesions of acne like the comedones, the papules, the pustules, and sometimes even nodules and cystic depending upon the grade of acne. But when it comes to middle-age acne or the adult acne as we call it, the presentation is a little different. It's more towards the jawline, it's more towards the neck area. Not to say that you wouldn't get acne anywhere else, it could be anywhere else too, but if you typically see an adult acne, it will be more restricted to a jawline, lower cheek, outer cheek, and the chin area. And the lesions could be same. The comedones would be lesser, which we call as the whiteheads, blackheads would be lesser in an adult acne as compared to a pubertal or a teenage acne. We would get more of papules, pustules, and maybe sometimes nodules and cystic along these areas.
Yes, so that was very simply explained and very beautifully explained. Now there is so many YouTube channels and there is no dearth to information, Dr. Roma, and people ask to apply anything and everything on, below the sun and above the earth, take anything like toothpaste, neem paste, and all those things. So I would like you to highlight what are the do's and don'ts, if you could just tell them, because that is going to really prevent the catastrophe of having those bad scars, which becomes very difficult for all of us to treat. So can you just highlight some do's and some don'ts?
So there could be actually a big list of do's and big list of don'ts as well. But I always tell all my patients, you should know what not to do before you know what to do, because actually that's what leads to the damage. So if we we prevent the damage, then we have less correction to do. So I feel that prevention in these cases is most important. And for that, we need to understand what type of skin we have and what kind of skin products we need to use on our face, what kind of cosmetic products we should use on our face, how the cosmetic care routine should be, what goes over what, like we wash our face, we should have a CTM kind of a routine where one thing goes over the other and not three going over two and one going over three. It has to be in the right pattern of application. These things are very important because in that way you're not congesting and clogging your pores. So yes, a proper skincare routine is very important. So don't just randomly use any creams or any face washes or any sunscreens. That's something that you don't do. You have to understand your skin type and use the products accordingly. Please read labels when you're buying products from the market. Please read the labels, whether if you have an oily skin or if you have a combination skin, please read the label and it says non-comedogenic, non-oily. For oily skin, please use only those kind of products if you have that kind of a skin. even sunscreens, make sure that you're using gel-based sunscreens and not the routine, any lotion-based or any regular moisturizer-based sunscreens. So that's again very important when you're buying a sunscreen. So buying products from the market off the shelf without a dermatologist is okay. I'm not saying that it's not right to buy the products, but then make sure that you know your skin type and you buy your products accordingly. Firstly, now that was about the skincare products. Then when you have an acne, it gets very stressful and you tend to at home start using any random products to dry the acne out. Sometimes that actually leads to more irritation and more allergies if it does not suit your skin, and that could trigger more acne, more blocked pores, and more frustration and more stress, which leads to again more acne. So it's a cycle of events we need to avoid. We need to know what we need to use when we get a fresh acne lesion. Thirdly, of course, you need to make sure that if you know that you are allergic to any product, please stay away from it. Definitely stay away from it. Avoid using it on those particular days. Please do a patch test for all your products that you buy from the market. Always do a patch test so that it does not trigger allergy, and then in turn, it does not trigger your acne as well. When it comes to using home products, we tend to use things like turmeric. We tend to use things like gram flour, chickpea flour, which we call as besan. We tend to use honey. We tend to use tomato paste. Now again, yeah, these are all right to use all these products, but not when you have an active problem. You know you've used that product before, you've tried and tested it on your skin, you know it's not going to go wrong, please use it. But if you've not tried it for the first time, please don't use it on a fresh acne spot. That's another thing I advise you not to do. Sleeping with makeup on is something that you definitely don't do. If you want to avoid acne, you need to please wash your makeup off. Whether you applied it for an hour, 3 hours, 4 hours, that's not the issue. Even if it's as per your skin type, that's also not the issue. You never sleep with an acne, you never sleep with makeup on. That leads to blocked pores, clogging of pores, and in turn leads to acne. So yeah, these are some of the things you don't do, definitely. Again, there could be a lot of list of things you need to do, which would be using the skincare products as per your skin type, using the right kind of sunscreen, and every single day you need to use a sunscreen no matter where you stay and what the weather is. You need to drink enough water, eat the right kind of diet. You need to take, you need to watch your weight, like we discussed before, because obesity does not help in acne. You need to watch your weight. You need to have a workout routine so your weight is under check. So these are some of the things that you can do to keep acne out of the way, without in fact even consulting a dermatologist. These are some things that you can follow even at home.
That was wonderful, especially the point which you said, use a gel-based sunscreen, one. And when you have active acne, just don't ponder on anything in the kitchen also, because that could rather irritate your skin. Definitely. And I definitely agree, because one dermatology visit is going to save your most beautiful skin. That is the greatest aspect. I think one dermatology visit to banta hai, for your beautiful skin, because you are the most precious people on this universe. You are the most divinely beautiful. Women are most divinely beautiful. And I think so they need to consult a doctor so that they can keep themselves lovely, beautiful, fabulous. Dr. Roma, there are many YouTubes which talk about toothpaste, neem paste. Can you highlight something on that?
Yeah, so with this, not only YouTube, I think even any kind of these social media platforms, and whether it could be Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, we have commonly videos circulating on, what can be done for what, and people tend to really do a lot of doctor shopping on the net nowadays, more treatment shopping on the net nowadays, just buying any random products because they saw someone using it or they heard of someone using it, or being recommended by a friend. So yeah, these are something I would definitely don't advise, unless, I would always say, unless you have used the product before, you have tried and tested any product before, or whether it's even home remedies. I always say, whether it's something like Dr. Smita was saying, whether it's a toothpaste, turmeric, yeah, they could be safe to use. I'm not saying that they're unsafe or you could go drastically wrong with them. But then you need to understand your skin type, for which, yes, a dermatologist visit is a must. Once you have understood what type of skin you have, you can maybe try some product, and please still always do a patch test in some area which is not already very irritated. So you could maybe take you could do a small patch test around the nape of your neck, behind the ear. You could do in the inner arm area, above the elbow. So these are some areas of patch testing which I advise even for home products, whether it's a toothpaste, turmeric, flour, honey, anything. Anything can go wrong anytime. There's always a first time for everything. So don't get it by Rosy and Gold on these platforms, but not necessarily to it has to work in your case. It could go wrong. So yeah, that would be my advice, that you need to be very skeptical.
Is there any particular face wash, Dr. Roma, you would suggest to these people?
So face wash, if you want to pick up from over the counter, which I call as an OTC brands, you can pick them up. If you know that you have an oily skin, pick up face wash which are saying for oily skin or for combination skin. And otherwise, if you're going to go to a dermatologist, which would be the better idea, they would definitely recommend you something as per your skin type. And if you have an oily skin, they will suggest you face washes which are having alpha beta hydroxy acids, or maybe have a little bit of salicylic acid in it, or a benzyl peroxide face washes. So there are some certain medicated face washes which can be recommended by dermatologists, and if used as per your skin type, they definitely help you better than the regular OTC.
Is there any food item that they should have or they should not have, when it comes to acne?
So there have been a lot of data. There's a lot of data and a lot of studies have been done trying to connect acne and diet, and indirectly also obesity and weight gain. But in my opinion, directly diet does not have a role in maybe weight gain, yes, which indirectly leads to acne, but then eating healthy never goes wrong. Eating lots of fruits, eating good, having a balanced meal, I would say, eating good enough of fruits, good enough of vegetables, good enough, lots of water, which I cannot stress enough of fluids throughout the day, and eating maybe less carbs and less fats in your diet. Even if you take fats, make sure they are not those saturated, unhealthy fats. So those things avoided in your diet, they help indirectly in your weight gain. They indirectly help in your acne and insulin resistance. But directly, there is no data suggesting that if you eat fried food, or if you eat mangoes, or if you eat junk, or if you eat a lot of, if you don't take fruits, you're going to get acne. Nothing like that. There are no data and studies. But eating a balanced meal, eating a healthy meal, and drinking enough fluids throughout the day does go a long way in your skin being healthy too.
That's true. I mean, only a healthy body can wear a beautiful ornament by name skin. That's what I believe in. And definitely there are certain rituals we need to follow. Drinking water, having food at the right time, and a healthy balanced meal. Apart from that, good hydration and a good skincare, cleanup, which is very important, and having the right kind of motion, GIT. When you have a clean hygienic habit, definitely is going to play a role. Exercise is going to have a good amount of sweating and release of all the serotonin and all the wonderful happy hormones. So that is going to make you feel relaxed. And yes, many a times people really forego their sleep. So foregoing sleep is again inducing stress. So many of these, even if they are not directly linked, definitely there is an indirect link. So wake up early, eat food at the right time, drink ample water, sleep at the right time, and just learn to laugh every day and stay happy. That is going to keep your skin glowing and keep away from all the acne. Yes, Dr. Roma, I would like to know, see, as a middle-aged woman, we definitely take some kind of medicines. So is there any role of medicines and acne? So can you highlight on that?
Okay, so when it comes to medicines, or what we call as the commonly taken medicines, are something that actually bothers me more than the doctor prescribed medicines. Among them, one of them is the emergency contraceptive pill, or what we call as an I pill, is something that actually bothers me more, because that is something the middle-aged women, just to avoid the pregnancies, or once they have completed their families and they want to avoid further pregnancies, so instead of taking the regular contraceptive, old contraceptive pills, which are taken on a monthly cycle basis, they take this one-time pills, or the emergency pills, and they take them very oftenly and randomly and offhandedly, which actually leads to a lot of hormonal imbalance. And this in turn can lead to, of course, a trigger of the middle-aged acne. So that's one thing they need to avoid. Multivitamins is something which also middle-aged women tend to take because of weakness or stress-related weakness. They multivitamins thinking they might have some nutrition deficiencies, because of which they're feeling weak, and they take multivitamins. But they would be surprised to know there are many multivitamins which, when taken in excess or in an overdose, they harm more than they benefit. Among them, the vitamin B group, the B12, the biotin, sometimes even the calcium, when taken in an overdose, they tend to trigger off acne. The third one, which I really wanted to discuss, was about the thyroid hormone. Now, middle-aged women tend to have thyroid issues, for which they are recommended medicines, which they're supposed to take very regularly. But many of them will miss their doses, will not take it regularly, will stop for a week, then start again. And this they do at home, just on their own, without even a doctor consultation. So I think, or a specialist consultation. So that's one advice, because irregular medicine taken for thyroid problems lead to a lot of hormonal imbalance issues, which in turn lead to a lot of acne issues, or middle-age acne issues. So that's one thing. That's another thing they can avoid. Then there are some medicines which the not medicines. There are some creams which the middle-aged women, steroids in them, which immediately do help in the acne, in cutting down the inflammation, the redness, but they don't really treat acne per se. They don't treat the blocked pores, or they don't treat the blackheads and the whiteheads and the comedones, which further lead to more blockage and lead to more acne in future. So yes, using any random creams on the face, or the fairness creams, has to be avoided, because they do lead to a lot of pore blockages and further triggering acne. So yeah, these are some things some of the common mistakes which the females make, and they should be avoided. There are a big list of medicines. If you ask me, there are a lot of other medicines, like the anticonvulsant medicines, barbiturates, and so I could go on, but then they're not something which everyone takes on a routine basis. The ones I mentioned are something which we tend to take on a routine basis, and we need to be careful about them.
Yes, very true. And here, at least, I have seen quite a few women in my clinic, just to postpone their periods. They take OC pills because there is some event in the house and they don't want to go through the period. So, randomly they just pick up some, OC pills which they take for a few days, and then they leave it. And as you rightly said, suddenly one eye pill, suddenly they pop up, and these all can really trigger the acne. And very rightly, Dr. Roma, as you said, that creams to make them fair, which is actually a steroid-based cream, should be a big no, because that makes you look fair and beautiful for few days. But the long-term side effects of real bad acne, which is very, very difficult for us as a cosmetic dermatologist. So say a big no to any of these over-the-counter steroid creams, which your friend must tell you, or your neighbor tells you, or some of your colleague tells you, I have used it, I'm looking nice, and yes, you start using it. And I often ask anybody who comes to my clinic with such acne, I ask them, why don't you take treatment from them only? If they have given you the suggestion to use these creams, ask them how to treat it now, because they are not consultant doctors. So you should be clever enough not to listen to them. Just go to a consultant dermatologist. If you cannot afford, go to a government hospital. Every hospital has a dermatologist. So, just a matter of spending 10 rupees also, you can get the best possible prescription from the dermatologist sitting. So it is not necessary that you need to spend money to go to a dermatologist. And definitely, you are the priceless skin which God has given you. I think you need to really love and care for your skin to look fabulous. My end towards question to you, Dr. Roma, is can you give some take home back messages to our wonderful ladies out there to really have a fabulous skin the way you have?
Okay, thank you for the compliment, first of all. And I believe as dermatologists, we need to carry good skin because we need to advertise that how important it is to have a healthy and a good skin. So yeah, I have a lot of take-home back messages. There's not one particular or no one-line message that I can give you because skincare is something I always tell all my patients and all my friends and all my relatives, anyone who asks me, I tell them skincare is not a one day thing. It's something that you have to do in and out. You need to follow a routine for yourself in and out. You need to have the right kind of skin products as per your type on a regular basis. Yes, and of course, I mean, I'm not saying that everyone is born with a beautiful skin and everyone is carries that skin all through you. The skin that we are born with and something that we live through are totally different. Our skin changes on a day-to-day basis. So you need to understand your skin from time to time. The skin you had at teenage would be different from the middle-aged skin, would be different from a mature skin, would be different from an aged skin. So you need to change your products from time to time. Don't think something that you use in your teenage is going to work all your life. You need to make sure that your products are getting modified as per your weather, as per your skin type at that particular at that particular phase of life. Also, depending if you have any hormonal issues, you again need to vary your skin type according to that. Depending upon the water in your area, whether it's a hard water, soft water, you need to understand and modify your skin products accordingly. So yes, on a regular basis, you need to understand your skin products, understand your skin type, and at any point of time, like Dr. Smita, you were insisting, please visit a dermatologist, take their opinion as to what would suit your skin for that particular phase of your life, whether it's during your pregnancy, post-pregnancy, during your lactation. You will have numerous skin changes in that 9 months, 1 year phase. So please vary your skin products as per your phase of life. That's usually one of the biggest take-home messages is that. And eat healthy, drink lots of fluids. It's something, fluids, I never insist you need to drink gallons of water. Fluids could be in the form of juices, could be in the in any liquid form. It could be lemon juice or fresh juice, anything. So lots of fluids throughout the day is very important. Again, as per the weather, you need to vary the amount of water you take in that particular season. So eating a healthy, balanced diet, I cannot stress again enough on that. You need to take a very healthy, balanced life, so that balanced diet, so that your system stays clear. You're not constipated, and you're having clear bowels on a regular basis. So that's very important as part of having a healthy skin routine is concerned. Sunscreens, I can never again stress enough on that. Just because you don't have enough sun rays in your area does not mean that your area is not very sunny or it stays cloudy. Most of the time of the year, you do not use sunscreen, because UV rays, what we are protecting our skin from, that is what we need to protect our skin from. So UV rays are from anywhere and everywhere. It could be our mobile phones, laptop screens, cooking ranges, television screen, microwave. I mean, there's an endless, even the window light. So they have UV rays. So make sure that sunscreens are something that you should use every single day of your life. And depending upon the area, the more sunny the area, the more repeat application of your sunscreen, the more exposure to yourself. Depending upon your occupation, you make, again, repeat use of sunscreens accordingly, and the right kind of sunscreen as per your skin type. And if you have an oily skin, please stay away from oily products as far as your diet, as far as your skin care regime, as far as your cosmetic products and makeup products are concerned. Make sure you have your face washed after every makeup application. Never sleep with the makeup on, no matter what kind of skin you have. So Yeah, these are some of my actually big lists of take-home messages. This is not just one list and not one point message. It's like a big 10-point messages. I could even give you another 10 more if you ask me. But my other most important point would be that please don't hesitate to visit a dermatologist. They are there to guide you as per your skin product, as per your skin type, so that they write the products which your skin needs at that particular point of time. If you have a problem, whether it's acne or pigment, anything, please don't try home products. Use products which will generally help you more than harm you. So yeah, this is something I would like to convey.
Wonderful. So these are real good take-home messages. I think so. Even if they really sincerely follow the take-home messages, they can have a really glowing and a fabulous skin. That was really wonderful to talk to you, Dr. Roma. Now, as an end remark, I would like you to talk on My Mission Beauty, or you could talk about Dr. Smita Sakote, one word or one sentence.
Okay, so again, I never have one word and one sentence for everything, but yeah, I think she's doing a great job. She's there to motivate people about their skin, about their life. She does not always only focus on the skin. She makes sure that the person is holistically feeling healthy in terms of skin, health, mind, everything. And she herself, I would say Dr. Smita is a wonderful human being, always smiling, very charming, and lovely to talk to whenever I have met her. I have known her since my post-graduation days, and I have never seen her in a sad phase. I've always seen her smiling no matter what, however stressed she's always got a smile, and she's there to cheer everyone, and which she's doing up to date. Even right now, she's set up this Mission Beauty to make sure that everyone feels beautiful, looks beautiful inside out. So yes, Dr. Smita, keep it going. And I'm really proud of you and to be associated with you on this platform. Thank you.
Definitely, Roma. And really, thank you so much for giving us a valuable time. And we are going to again have some live series with you, Dr. Roma. So we are not going to leave you. We are going to have some wonderful tips coming from the most beautiful dermatologist from Chandigarh city. To all the women out there, stay beautiful, because these are the women dermatologists who are going to teach you some greatest pearls which they have learned through their science and through their practice as well. So please stay tuned to our channel on the Facebook as well as on the YouTube. And if you love this information, which is qualitatively scientific, definitely share with your friends. And here we sign off. Thank you, Dr. Roma, once again. And please keep coming on our show, Mission Beauty. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you, Dr. Smita. Thank you so much.